Yo, 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 welcome back with episode 15 of Jack of All Trades. I am your host, your boy, Jamal. All right, we back, baby. We are back and back like we never left. Of course, I got my guy, Tom. What's the deal, brother?
What up, what up, what up, what up? Yeah, we in the building. Another episode, another week. We're gonna get into a lot of great topics. We got some new stuff going for y'all. We got and we're gonna touch on a topic that's getting kind of swept under the rug a little bit as well, too. So it should be a fun week. We in Philly right now, you know what I mean? The whole nation right now. All eyes on the city, baby. All eyes. 1776. Them Sixers going up. We going up. You know what I mean? It's been a lot of hate towards the city of Philadelphia for what's going on right now. But Philly is used to the hate. So we gonna get into it this week. Y'all, let's go. Let's go.
Listen, you already know, man. Like, I got a lot of opinions about that. Some may call me fraudulent, but I don't care, bro. It's gonna be weird for me. You already know, but we're gonna find out. But yo, without further ado, we got a special guest in the building. Someone who's been nothing but a good friend to me, a dear brother. You know what I'm saying? My boy, Rodney, aka Mr. AV, Mr. Add Value. He is our honorary co-host for today, for Jack of All Trades, episode 15. And listen, I'm excited. I'm excited because he brings a lot to the table. It's in the name, Mr. Add Value, which coincides with Jack of All Trades. He got a lot of things going on, bro. He got a lot. He's a man of God. He got a lot of things going on, bro. And I'm excited to be a part of this show. And Roddy, introduce yourself, brother.
Listen, it is my pleasure and privilege. Every time I hear it and look at you guys' podcast, I'm sitting here like, yo, he was intentional when we talked before y'all launch. I was like, yo, because that's the description of me all the way.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm excited, brothers. I'm excited to be here to add a little value and get it in, man. It's my privilege. It's my privilege, man.
Glad to have you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And hopefully, I'm saying in the future, you'll be part of more of Jack of All Trades episodes, or possibly be a partner, co-host, permanent. We're gonna find out. I'm hoping that's the case. I'm hoping for it. You got your list that you're praying for. I got mine, and you know what I'm talking about. So,
that was slick. I like that.
You feel me?
It's only right. It's only right.
Right. All right, so let's begin, man. So a lot has been happening over the past couple of days, bro. Listen, don't think it's strange that me and my boy Tom are wearing Philadelphia headgear. You understand? Don't think it's strange.
I'm gonna be the devil's advocate. You know what I mean? But go ahead.
Don't think it's strange. Don't think it's strange. Yeah, I'm not calling him King, but we got Bron. He is now an official Philadelphia 76er. Now, this may seem hypocritical, but for real, I gotta share and root for anyone that's on the Sixers team. Now, I've been very opinionated with LeBron's play, specifically his flopping, him joining super teams, him building super teams, but now he's part of the Sixer, which arguably could be considered one. I mean, we got Tyrese Maxey, right? You know what I'm saying, up and coming. He's a star. We got he's not a rookie anymore, but we got Edgecombe. He came in and did his thing.
Yeah, VJ's on it.
Right. We got Joel Embiid, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, if you put him on a count, you know what I'm saying, he's still worth something. You know what I'm saying? He can get to it. And then obviously before Bron came, we had a smash, you know what I'm saying, like acquisition with Jaylen Brown from the Boston Celtics.
Yeah,
y'all got gifted. Y'all got gifted with that one, bro. Jaylen Brown. Gifted. I can't even hate. You know what I'm saying? You know I hate Philly. I love Philly because I lived there for like 15 years. But I love to hate the Eagles. I ain't gonna say I hated the Sixers. I'm not gonna say that. But this looking real interesting here. I ain't even gonna lie about it.
Very. And my thing is, I don't think LeBron James comes to Philly if we didn't get Jaylen Brown. To be honest, I don't think he comes. Because who's that 3 or who's that 4, right? Who's that other guy? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And now that LeBron's in the team, he's just stack padding all of his stats. Just the longer he plays, just stat padding. But I mean, he always tries to get his team members involved, right? So LeBron, old man Bron, you don't have to be, the offense doesn't have to run through you. You can facilitate the way you want to facilitate. You know what I'm saying? But it's strange because I had so much to say about him, but now he's on the team. So now it's like, I guess I got to root for the guy now. I got to root for you now.
You have no choice because this is. I can't listen. I'm an Orlando Magic fan. Let it be known, right? But you cannot deny this deal. I ain't gonna lie. This shocked me more than Jaylen Brown. Even though LeBron is season right now, right? But you said it. The word is we don't need super LeBron. Just facilitator. Matter of fact, here's what will be a success for the Sixers. If the Cleveland Cavaliers LeBron shows up. Remember when he was developing and he was that facilitator? Because they didn't really have a lot of stars, besides Kyrie Irving. You know what I'm saying? And he just was he dished that ball around everybody.
Yeah, Kevin Love.
He up there. He's still in great shape, right? But all he needs to do is be the veteran, right? You always need a good veteran on your squad, too.
Yeah.
To get the young boys in line. And then just facilitate. You got listen, Max. It's going to be crazy.
It is. I mean, a lot of people are saying we're going to the chip. I'm not going to say all that.
That's too far. That's that Philadelphia anticipation that always gets the city in trouble every single time. It's the Jaylen Brown trade. That was like, okay, we go mode. We already go. Like, a lot of people that aren't basketball fans don't really know that. You know what I mean? But just those 3, without even Embiid stepping on the court, all right, you already got probably like the second or third best backcourt in the league already. You know what I mean? With VJ and Tyrese. You add Jaylen Brown in there, all of a sudden, you know what I mean? You already put at least about 75 points on the floor. You know what I mean? A game, right? Embiid, if we can just get 25 games out of Embiid, right, as the big man, that's already easily probably, we're just looking at roughly like maybe 40, 50 wins just with those guys, right?
Yeah.
So then you add Bron.
Can't forget about the other center
we need
got.
a 10-10. We need a 10-10 Bron. That's all we need. Yeah. That's all you need to really, you know what I mean, be able to be that team. I mean, the Knicks going to be hungry now, though. I know the Knicks is probably just waiting. They're like, man, we got to prove something now. That Eastern Conference is getting real greasy. Boston, I don't know what Tatum's going to do in Boston. I don't know. But he got to still prove himself, too, because after last season and him just basically bowing out gracefully, you know what I mean, in the playoffs and letting the Sixers do him like that, I don't know. He gonna be hungry too. And then you got so many things that's moving and grooving, right? You got Miami. We not gonna talk about Miami. You know what I mean? When you got NBA champion down there,
Giannis,
you know what I mean,
and Giannis and Bam Bam.
Yeah, so what we go, the East is nasty right now, and obviously, you know what I mean. You shoot over to the West, and we got to figure out if Wemby wants it. I don't know. The NBA getting interesting again, gentlemen. I'm excited for the season. I haven't been excited for an NBA season in about a good 15 years. So this one is going to be
15 years, bro. You said
15 years. You haven't been excited.
I haven't been excited about NBA
Ben
season
Simmons
about
and all them
15
guys.
years.
Now Ben Simmons, he's a scrub, but when we had our shot, you wasn't excited back then.
Nah, Ben, because I seen the issues from the beginning with Ben Simmons. When that man couldn't hit a 3-pointer, like the Sixers have disappointed me over so long that it's hard to get excited about anything because we've watched Embiid's body break down year after year after year. But before that, it was the Ben Simmons saga. You know what I mean? And Doc just couldn't find out how to coach a team to the you know what I mean? He would plateau every year. Doc was plateauing every year. We get to the playoffs, and all of a sudden, it's like this. the energy, and it just crash and burn, and then all the other history with the Sixers and the Todd McCullers of the world and stuff like this. So
Wow.
I mean the Sixers.
Wow.
The Sixers have disappointed me for a long time, bro. But I'm excited. I'm actually excited, and I'm Maul gonna get on me for this, but I got three championships loading. I got the Rams, but first it's the Dodgers. 3 for 3 right now. We about to go 3 for 3 on the Dodgers, and then we going to the Rams. Championship loading. Championship loading. We don't know if Aaron Donald gonna step on that field, but if he do, ooh.
Hey, and then you don't need him to come either.
But we don't not need him, because if he show up on that field, man, listen, I'm telling you, that's something else. And then Maul, stop sitting over there with the sad face. And then, and then to watch the Sixers play probably some real great basketball. I'm excited, man. I got a couple bad old seasons running, baby. They running simultaneously. I'm hyped.
No one told you to inject anything about LA.
Yeah, he
at all,
threw
bro.
that was slick, right?
No one told you to inject anything about it. We're talking about Bron James and the Philadelphia Sixers. That's nothing to do with the LA Dodgers, the Rams.
That was slick.
What's the other team? What's the other one you got? The Dodgers, Rams, and who else?
The Dodgers, the Rams, the Sixers.
Three championships, right?
3 championships.
Yeah. Bro, no one cares about that, dog. I'm gonna end it at that. I'm not gonna give LA anything, no more energy. I'm moving on. Sixers, LeBron James. That's what we talking about. Not today, bro.
Well, while we are on the topic of LA though, these fans out here is hurt. They feelings hurt. They feelings hurt because he takes a 2-year deal for $8 million, right?
Wow.
And they sit there and they
we didn't even talk about that.
Y'all took all our money, Bron. You took all our money, and then now you're gonna go there for $8 million over. You took all of our cash. We couldn't get no players on the team. We got
$49 million cut, $49 million.
Bro, that's from
they hurt. These fans hurt.
That's let me see. They said that was a pay cut from 52.6. That's crazy work. But we gotta say it. He don't go. LeBron's been strategic, y'all, since when he first left Cleveland and went to Miami, right? Became the super team, and then when he went, I think that the team that we really didn't expect, we couldn't call it a super team, but they happened to pull it out and get the chip anyway, was when he was with the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? We didn't really call that a super team. They had a lot of, I don't want to mention it, but they remind me of the year that my Commanders was signing every old star that there was. It worked out for them though. LA, it worked out. They had the White House, y'all remember. And they were clowning them like, they're not gonna get a chip. And they end up sneaking. I thought that was the sneakiest chip that I ever seen. When LeBron, and I'll be honest, I didn't respect that shit. You know what I'm saying? But now coming here with the 76ers, Jaylen Brown, I'm sorry, that's the difference. Jaylen, bro, y'all got pieces, and here's the thing too. It should preserve Joel. Let's see if he can get to 50 games. You know what I'm saying? So that's my only knock about him is he can't stay healthy. But with these people on, if you manage his minutes well, he should get through the season because he does not have to do all the workload either.
Bro, he can't. So that's. I'm glad you said that because it feels like he's trying to do the workload. Bro, you're that healthy, but you're doing too much.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like soon as Joel Embiid gets that ball, they call it the black hole. That ball's not coming back out. I'm watching during the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? I'm seeing him play against the Celtics. This dude will miss like 4 shots in a row, and then on the 5th shot he makes it, and he acts as if he's been putting in.
Call it a streak.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
just keep shooting,
bro. Like, dog. Shooting. Like, get the ball. Like, I've been screaming at the screen like, give the ball to Maxey. And then when Maxey got into his mode, that's when the game changed and the game flowed better. I feel like. And then Joel Embiid doesn't play like a traditional big man anyway. I know the game's evolved. Like, big men aren't like the big men as of the early 2000s and things like that. These big men, they want to shoot threes. They're the Wembeyanas. Well, Wembeyan's an alien, so, he's not really a banger in the paint. But I'm old school, bro. And even when I play NBA 2K, my center isn't some hybrid shooter from beyond the arc. You know what I'm saying? He's in there to do one thing, get rebounds, and dish the ball out.
Defense, right?
Defense.
Right.
That's what I'm
That's
looking
what's
for
missing
in my
today.
big. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I'm
the
looking
big
for in
man
my
shooting
big.
shots. I think it's just disgraceful.
So
You know what I'm saying?
with there being one ball, I did have questions. Like, okay, who's going to run this offense?
LeBron.
You know what I'm saying? With all five. LeBron can run the offense.
Yeah.
Right, because LeBron can facilitate. So now Tyrese Maxey can go ahead and score, as he's shown that he can score, even though he's at the one. Edgecombe can get to it. You know what I'm saying? Then obviously Jaylen Brown can get to it. And then, like you mentioned, like Joel Embiid, he can get to it. But I want more him in the paint. But if he's in the paint, that means he's going to wear down. He's going to get injured. So
LeBron should be the greatest asset for Joel because he should be able to be. I'm talking veteran. Yo, you don't have to do it all. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And if he's paying attention, here's the thing. If he's paying attention and he see how the ball is being distributed, then hopefully he'll play team ball, which will help him focus on defense.
Yeah.
That's what they need him. You know, take your little 13, 12-footer, but come on, man. Be preserved. This ain't your team. Let's get that through your head. You're not the superstar. You know what I'm saying? Be okay with not being the superstar and just let the ball flow where it's going to flow. Kick it out to the stars. You know what I'm saying? You're going to look good even when you kick that thing out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Every time you get that L, every game that you make it, listen, if you make it over 25 games, that's a win.
Joel Embiid should be a walking triple-double, bro, if he just plays like it. He needs to be a walking triple-double. That's what he needs to be. He needs to be, and this is why, Jokic has been, the way he is, because he's been a walking triple-double. Passing the ball, get his 10, 12.
Jokic is out of this world, too.
Yeah.
That's an out-of-this-world big man.
Bro, like, Joel, just mirror your game after that. You know what I'm saying? Give the ball to LeBron. Give the ball to Jaylen Brown. Give the ball to Edgecombe. Give it to Maxey. And get your 12 points, 13 points, 15. We know you can get 25. You know what I'm saying? So that just get that when it needs to. When everyone's focused on everyone else, bro, then open up. Pause. You know what I'm saying? Just, I think we can go deep in the playoffs for sure. Definitely Eastern Conference. We can get there.
Yeah, we can. I mean, if we sure get there, it's gonna be tough. Like I said, the East is tough though. I personally don't. I can't call for real. I really can't say it's gonna be a championship year. It's gotta. If we can make it out of the Eastern Conference, then obviously if we can make it to the championship, I think we got a good shot. I think whoever can make it out of the Eastern Conference, I think they pretty much got a championship locked up. That's what I really think. I don't think the West got it right now. I mean, you still got OKC and SGA. I know he wants something. I know he's still trying to go back and do something. But right now, the Eastern Conference is so strong. I think by the time, barring no terrible injuries from nobody, I think the Eastern Conference is definitely the strongest conference. So after they play each other and, you know what I mean, during the season and stuff, I think iron going to sharpen iron with that. So I think the Eastern Conference is going to win. You just got to make it out of the Eastern Conference.
Definitely. And on top of that, LeBron, use your greatest asset. Flop.
Yeah.
Get the other team in foul trouble. Get the other team in foul trouble and flop, bro.
He the only guy who knows what a championship is like on that team.
Well, right, and that's what he brings to the table also. Championship mentality. Like a lot of people, can we say people ignore that? It's a mindset to winning. You know what I'm saying? There's a mindset to winning. And when you go around the room and you got the right veteran in the room, things change. And I think that's the key. Now, here's the thing. He signed a 2-year deal. I'm being honest. I think that the Sixers could win a chip in the next 1 to 2 years. I think this may be a gelling season. You know what I'm saying? Where, first y'all got to gel together. You know what I mean? Because we ain't seen this dynamic. You know what I'm saying? Sixers haven't seen this type of team before. You know what I'm saying? So, Sixers. And I go back to Iverson. You know what I'm saying? They haven't seen, and it was pretty darn good. A lot of people, that year that they went to the chip, it made me angry. And I understand the trade and everything. But the champion, a lot of people don't really understand that should have been their championship season. The center at the time got hurt. and they traded for Mutombo, and he was balling. And Mutombo was just defense. The center that went down was offense and defense. He was just it's sad. It really did. Now that I ain't gonna lie, I'm an Allen Iverson fan, bro.
Yeah.
So that I was like, I remember working as a safety ambassador, University of Penn, and we was out there, watching it on the big screen, and I was like, yo, as soon as my man went down, I was like,
they just ran into a juggernaut that year though. With Shaq and Kobe. I mean, they was running through teams. They only lost one game that whole playoffs.
Bro, you know why? Because, and they said this, but so Mutombo was no match for Shaquille O'Neal.
No,
but
not at that time.
But I can't think of the center. The other center he was youthful, but I don't know if he tore his ACL or whatever. But they said that Shaq was elbowing Mutombo so bad that he actually broke ribs. He actually broke ribs, bro. So he was no match. Mutombo was just, defense, but he wasn't no offense. They needed a little bit from him.
Yeah, that was Shaq in his prime. You know what I mean? Because before that, Mutombo, Olajuwon, they was pushing Shaq around. In Orlando days, they were pushing him around. But by the time he beefed up and he got to LA, Shaq was unmatchable. Unmatchable. If he could shoot free throws, Shaq would probably be the greatest of all time. Honestly, his points would probably be crazy. Like the numbers that LeBron did, Shaq could have did that if he could shoot free throws.
Yeah, facts. Yeah, them free throws were a Mother Hubbard.
Shoot free throws at all. It's terrible.
Y'all can't mention free throws around me, man. I'm an Orlando Magic fan. Y'all just can't. I remember we went up against Olajuwon, and Nick Anderson missed that. All I saw was him miss the free throw, and it was like, series over. I don't remember other games. It's over. I'm like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
My man, they said he literally lost confidence. Like he had somebody go out and shoot field goals after that series. He never shot a field goal again. Is that crazy?
Yeah.
Wow. Man.
Yeah. So this is gonna be a dynamic team if they work it right. If the coach, see, you're gonna have a second coach out there. You got LeBron out there. That's what's gonna make this team nice. Because he's going to coach. He's gonna hold them accountable.
That could also break though. That could work. That could work against us. I expect LeBron to be a much more chill player, but once he sees that there's a potential for that championship, I don't want him out there snapping like he was on Cleveland on players getting mad in the middle of the court. I don't want to see that.
But they was tweaking it in Cleveland though. You saw what he had to do with?
Yeah, he had a lot more to do of lack of talent. He had a right to snap in Cleveland.
Yeah.
We're talking about Cleveland round 2. Round one.
Yeah,
round 2 he was good because round 1. He had a lot to deal with. He was young. And guess what? Here's what we know. Any superstar that has to carry the team for too long, and I'm a victim of this. I know this well, like nobody knows it. When you have to carry the team, their lifespan is it. When we had McGrady, had to carry the team, lifespan. Penny, lifespan. Knees went, and look, when Grady went to Houston, right? You was like superpower. Y'all mean? But look, not durable, y'all mean? And now McGrady started having knee issues. And he was top scorer when he left us. You know what I'm saying? He was top scorer. A lot of people don't give him a lot of respect that he deserves. He was the top scorer during that reign. It was Kobe under McGrady. He was averaging like 28 points when he went to Houston. You know what I'm saying? But guess what? Durability had already taken a toll from having to carry Orlando, not getting him help. And then when they finally get him help, it's too late. I'm out of here.
It's a wrap. Yeah, it's over.
I'm out of here.
Yeah, he's disgruntled. I'm out of here. I want to go take my challenge over there. Yeah.
So here's the thing. Bro. Here's what you have too. This is what's going to be what really drives the Sixers. Jaylen Brown, I don't care what nobody say. He ticked off that they got rid of him. He felt like he was a better deal than Tatum. Let's be honest. Tatum is injury prone. And now he is going to play with a chip on the shoulder. I promise you. He's going to play with a chip on his shoulder.
He's going to make it hell for Boston when you go back to Boston. He's going to make it hell for them. Yeah,
So
dropping
that's
for
50.
sure.
so you got that dynamic right there too. Somebody hungry to prove the haters wrong that y'all should have invested the money in me. Oh man, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's it could work well. It's just a lot of personalities in that locker room. Like Maul, you alluded, you was like, there's only one basketball.
Right.
It's just a lot of personalities. Before and
The biggest
Maxey
is
seems
Joel.
real chill. Edgecombe seems real chill. The only person on the team that I've, that's ever caused ruckus with this team was Embiid in certain situations,
Right.
where his ego definitely came to the forefront. So as long as there's no Embiid, Jaylen Brown situation, or I think it'll be
Which it shouldn't
should
be
be a real
because
good match.
Jaylen isn't there to replace anybody. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
It would be more
Correct.
beef if he was. Now we all can be on a court at the same time in different functions, right? Like that was a problem when Orlando went to the chip, the glory days. Nick Anderson and Dennis Scott said something that I thought a lot of teams can learn from. He was like, "Yo, bro, we knew we were the stars coming in here, but when Penny and Shaq came, it's their team."
Yeah.
Joel gotta listen. This is not your team, bro. You know what I mean? Those years are gone. At one point it was.
Yeah, it was.
And you should be grateful because this is going to preserve your. Listen, at the end of this, you need a chip, bro.
Yeah.
This is a chip. Hey, how can I? That should be in his mind when he get in the locker room. He should be chanting that chip.
That should be.
How can I be? You know what I mean? Every day. How can I be a better facilitator myself to get this chip? You know what I'm saying? He should be Dennis Rodman out there. That should be his mentality. Dennis Rodman, get as many rebounds as I can get out this piece.
Yeah.
Because
he has some other players. I want to see what Dean Wade does too from Cleveland. See what he does. Yeah. I'm actually intrigued how off the 6th man coming off the bench. I'm actually intrigued about that as well. The Sixers should go deep, bro. Deep into the Eastern Conference.
I
be
think
honest.
so. I think so. As long as, like I said, as long as the locker room can gel. And that's generally with any team. As long as the locker room gels, you good to go. Because I know for sure that Kawhi Leonard shot still haunts my nightmares.
Bro.
When the ball bounced 3 times and went in, that was the championship year right there.
Bro, that was the year. And that was the year I was done with Ben Simmons. Everyone else was done with Ben Simmons the year after. No, I was done with Ben Simmons that year. That year, that's when I was like, yo, I'm done with Ben. Like I couldn't. What everyone saw the very next year is what I've been saying prior to that. You know what I'm saying? And you even said, like, listen, you've been saw Ben Simmons for what it was since the very beginning. You know what I mean? I can't believe he won Rookie of the Year his sophomore year. Dog, what do you mean you Rookie of the Year? Remember that?
Yeah, it was crazy.
He was injured his first year, and he somehow the very next year he won Rookie. They made up an award for him.
How embarrassing is it when the man shoots 1 3, the whole stadium has the cheer and clap? That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. There's no reason why you're an NBA player that plays a forward position and you can't shoot a 3. Come on,
bro. You're right. You're right there from the rim. Instead of you going to get the easy bucket, you dish it out to someone else. I'm like, bro, you're right there.
Just no confidence. No confidence,
bro. Like, I was done. Yeah, I was done with him after that loss to Toronto. I'm like, he's done for me anyway.
Insane. Insane. Just and like I said, as long as things could gel, we good. We don't need a Jerry Stackhouse AI situation. We don't need none of that. We just need a cool, calm, collected locker room that's gonna get the job done throughout the season. I hate the load manage with Embiid. I hate the theory of load management, period, because I think that tears it from the game. But the way that man's body is set up now,
it's like Andre Davis. Bro, it's like Andre Davis. It's like we had Jonathan Isaac, up and coming, should have been a defensive premier player, but they mismanaged him during the COVID when we had I think it was COVID and we had the shorts and he had I think it was a torn. No, I think it was something like a knee injury. And they brung him back when we somehow made it into the playoffs. It was like my Commanders, like that 8-8 and you slipped in. It was no reason to put him in. And I'm talking the first game they put him in. Now he tears his ACL. And guess what? They load managed him. And I'm so glad finally. I think we signed him again. Never mind, y'all. We got rid of him. And I was like, yes, he's doing nothing for us. And they did sign him back. So hopefully he don't make it through preseason. But here's the good part about the Sixers. This would be good for Joel. Matter of fact, this should be a humbling season. When you heard LeBron was coming, Jaylen coming. Maybe you weren't impressed. But when you heard that LeBron, I get to play with LeBron, and if you're smart, sip from his veteran leadership.
Mm-hmm.
See, champions know how to get around. Listen, look at Kobe and the people that mentored him. You know what? My greatest center is Olajuwon. And guess who Kobe went to go see? LeBron. They went to go see the OGs. LeBron, all of them went and sat and practiced and got mentored by Olajuwon. All of the greats. You know what I'm saying? This is chance.
That post fade shimmy
yes, that shimmy.
Was bread and butter. Yeah.
Bro, and he was very humble, but he talked trash. He talked trash. Olajuwon, it was more like a Big Papa thing now. Should have went left, big fella. Should have ducked it, big fella. Like that's how he was.
For sure. That's exactly how he was. But listen, real quick before we move to the next topic, the load count. I'm not really a fan of that neither. For Joel Embiid, considering the advances that medical science has taken, you should be on the court a lot quicker than you were in the past, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand the whole load count. Maybe it's the sneakers, maybe the shoes. Matter of fact, the sneakers are different. Everything's low cut.
The sneakers are listen. They are a serious issue, and a lot of times they're in sneakers that work for them. And then they get bought by brands. And now they promoting brands that don't fit their athleticism. You know what I'm saying? And now and they out there. They're torn. Listen, ligaments. They did a documentary on it. Yeah. It's the shoes.
Yeah, it's definitely. Is it the shoes? It's definitely the shoes.
Man. It's definitely the shoes. Yeah.
Definitely the shoes.
Bro, they're playing on hardwood, bro. You got to have the right cushion.
You had the right ankle support, bro.
Ankle support, yep.
Listen, when I was a kid, you know what I'm saying? Like, my the old heads tell me, unless you better get some higher sneakers, get some high top sneaks for them ankles for you break your ankles out here.
Break your ankles, man, on that hard floor.
I don't get why everybody wear low tops now. I don't get that. Because that's your ankles. You need that support. And everybody walking around with these low tops because that's what the style is. But forget the style. These ankles got to last me 10 years on this. I need to get this money.
Tell you.
Yeah, 10 years.
And you're jumping. You're listen, you pounding the pavement. And look, one wrong move and you tear your ACL just running up the court. You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
At the very least, if you're going to wear low support, low sneakers, just get ankle supports.
Right.
That's what Steph wear them braces.
Yeah, get them.
Or get the braces. Something.
Yeah, something. But yo, listen, man.
Look how that changed his career. I'm sorry. Look how that changed Steph. Remember, I deemed him injury prone. He put the braces on. Shoo.
Man, chasing Stephon Curry around the court's a nightmare, bro. I'm tired, bro.
Yeah.
I'm tired, boss.
Yeah.
Tired, boss. But listen, yo. This is Jack of All Trades, man. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Tell a friend, tell a family member. Listen, we're Jack of All Trades, baby. On to the next topic. Listen, New Jersey. What's going on in New Jersey? Listen, non-U.S. citizens has been found that they are registered to vote. Non-U.S. citizens from 2023, I think, up to 2024, have been found out that they were voting. So my question is this an administrative failure, or is this more so like, is it election integrity failure, or is it even a tech failure? You feel me? So real quick, the past couple of days, right? 6,600 self-identified non-U.S. citizens were registered to vote, and fewer than 400 actually believed the cast ballots, right? So now there's an investigation being launched. So now it's been said since it's been found out from 2023 to 2024, but for real, how long has this been happening, right? Because if it's happening within a year that's been found out, was it how many years before then? What it does, it opens up a can of worms. to further investigate further, because who knows what we're going to find, right? And how wasn't it caught sooner, right? And could there be more, which I just alluded to? It's possible, right? So there's a lot of things that's being said right now. The governor of New Jersey, Mickey Sherrill, she's actually blaming. She's actually saying this is not she per se, but maybe her administration are saying that this is a software glitch, right? Software glitch. And the company that actually does, I think it's called Idemia. They've been, working with this for the past 30 years in New Jersey. They're saying like, no, like this isn't on us. Our software is doing what exactly it's supposed to do. It just clicks on if it's yes or no. We're just collecting data. That's all we're doing. It's up to the state to go ahead and verify these people if they should vote or not. How they're getting past through all this, saying that they're registered to vote and then saying U.S. citizen no, and they're voting, how that even happening? So, it's kind of interesting with this, bro. And
I mean,
all I hear is, I told you so.
I mean,
all I hear is in the back is, I told you so. But go ahead, fellas. Go ahead.
I'm like, if they said it was 100 people, that sounds like a mistake. That actually sounds like a legit mistake. But when you start getting into the thousands, you're like, okay, something's off here. Something's actually really, really wrong. Right? What because I'm just thinking of the process, right? When you go up to the DMV, you register, you get your ID, your license, driver's license, and stuff like that. It is literally just a box, though, that you can say,
it's not complicated.
Yes, no,
it's not complicated.
You know what I mean? And be like, nah, I'm not a citizen. Yes, I am a citizen. But the thing is, when you go into the DMV, right? The lady, you got to stand at the lady. You show all your paperwork, and most of the people that work at the DMV definitely gonna be on you. If you're not a U.S. citizen and you got U.S. citizen check, they're gonna be like, no, you got to change that. They're not going to just be like, oh, okay, and just let it slide through. And if for that to happen 6,000 times, that means 6,000 people would have had to go up there and check the wrong box and it slide through. So I know for sure something's going on. But the weird thing is, and I'm sure they have the data, they have the analytics. They're probably not going to put that out there to the public. I'm wondering if it's centralized. Like if it's just certain parts of Central Jersey or certain parts of North Jersey or certain parts of South Jersey where it's actually happening at. Like if there's like tracked back to one DMV or tracked back to multiple DMVs in a certain area. I'm wondering if it's more of a centralized thing that somebody has something going on and running and going with that.
Man, yeah, it's a good question. I don't know because I think that might tailor the response. So, all right. So maybe I guess if we were to investigate, right, just us, who has the largest population of non-U.S. citizens in a certain region, you know what I'm saying? Where would that fall in? You would think.
I would say that's probably North Jersey more than anything else, because you have the people that's coming from like New York, you know what I mean? When in New York probably has the most centralized probably of non-U.S. citizens because of the size of, you know what I mean, the boroughs, the city itself. I would probably say people coming over from, you know what I mean, New York, New Jersey, you got a lot of different nationalities right there. I wouldn't say so much in Central or South though. I wouldn't think South Jersey has a lot of immigrants, non-U.S. citizens of that nature to get that high a number. So I mean, I definitely got to look at the data behind that. But
I agree. I think the population up there is probably a lot more dense versus South Jersey.
I would say that. Yeah. So I think it's maybe coming, and this is just all speculation for me because I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's definitely something going on, and yeah, with what you just said, I told you so. Yeah, because the Badman Orange definitely been on this.
He's been saying it since he lost. He's been saying it since he lost against Biden the first time.
You know what?
Go ahead, bro.
See, I'm trying to be nice. You know what? So I was reading that article as well. So it said 5,600 non-citizens were mistakenly added to the voter rolls, and they said roughly 400 people actually
voted,
cast the ballot, right?
Yep.
And so here's the question, and this is where it gets. I'm gonna be devil's advocate. I think it's everything that we're saying. Systematic error. I think that it's a fraudulent scheme. I think it's propaganda as well. So look at it like this. Why would we be so surprised, right? Because we have an immeasurable amount of undocumented non-citizens. That is a fact.
Facts.
And let's not lie and act like we ain't taking advantage of it. And then we want to be weathery about it. Well, you know what I'm saying? When it matches the agenda. Of course, the orange man, it definitely matches the agenda. But you still got back in office another 4 years later, so we ain't gonna talk about that. You still got back in, you know what I'm saying? So right. You can let's take him out real quick. Here's what we do know. We live in a rough, savage country where a lot of this stuff, there's an agenda. So for instance, politicians can claim the prison system. You know what I'm saying? They can claim their votes. You know what I'm saying? So here we have immigrants who have been here. It really isn't a big process. When you go in and get your license, you can easily mark what you're gonna march, because the most important thing is ID, right? When you get your ID in there, they don't ask for a birth certificate. They usually ask for a utility bill. You know what I'm saying? It's not a big. That's part of the 6-point system, right? Yeah, it's not as hard to go into and commit voter fraud. You know what I'm saying? That's not hard. But then here's what we have. We have where we're mad now because we can blame it on the system, because that too. Come on, any system that's electronical can have errors. I think this is real targeted, though. The fact that there's a war going on, you know what I'm saying? He's still in office. Yeah, it is. It's fitting to say, hey, I told y'all so I can have an agenda. I don't think it's going to happen, but a lot of people saying, hey, well, this is another reason for him to stay in office, get another term, the war, right? Because you can't vote anybody out while a war is going on. And this war, look, it looked like it was ending. And they said, let me go nuke somebody else. But technically, by constitutional law, you cannot stop a war. You can't vote the next president in until that's resolved. And so this is going to be interesting, because here's the thing, too. Now that we're voting now, this also gives the non-voters a reason not to vote. Can we say that?
This is very, very layered, because they feel like the system's broke, so why vote?
Right, that's what they're going to say. I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think about that. They be like, yo, ain't nobody voting. I would say this, and Jamal, I stick to this. People, concentrate on your local government. Don't get wrapped up in the federal aspect. Concentrate on the local, which you don't really hear any problems with voting, because not enough people do it. You never hear anybody voting fraud when it comes to local government.
Tom,
they want us to be caught up. You know what I'm saying?
Have we not been? Have we not been?
It's serious, man.
They
want us like that. They want us clouded here in votes that don't even matter. Like, I'm voting for the president. That's gonna change my community. It's not. Meanwhile, the place that can change your community is the most neglected. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. It's diversion, right? You be like, yo, we talking about federal? We really talking about why are we talking about Trump? What's the name of your mayor? What's the name of your local government?
You gotta jump in, Tom.
You know what I'm saying?
You gotta jump in, Tom.
Yeah.
You gotta jump in, bro.
I land right there.
You gotta jump in, Tom.
You gotta say something. Plane back in the sky, because you know what? The fact is, you are 100% correct. You listen. I in my heart of hearts know I could probably poll 7 out of 10 people, and they have no idea who their council members are.
Right.
You know what I mean? In any area, neighborhood, state, wherever, I feel like I could walk around. This is a field. You know what I mean? This is a field. I'm in my feelings about this shit, because politics is near and dear to my heart, right? And I know that I could walk up to people and be like, who's on your city council? And people probably gonna look at me and say,
It's the guy. No,
I'll do you one better. You can go and I'll do you one better. You can go and ask.
Snapping
You can do
fingers.
a poll asking people, what is a council? That's how I'm serious. You know, today, and this is off topic but on topic. Our pastor spoke about the youngsters. The youngsters. It's about to be schooled back in. And they says, listen, it's amazing the identity that we can take on. And you can't read. You can't do mathematics. It's the same in politics. Most people that talk about politics, man, don't know nothing about politics. You go, matter of fact, you can give them this test. Most of them hate the orange man, but can't, if you stop and say, why do you hate him? They couldn't give you one reason.
Let me interject real quick. Real quick, Rodney. As I mentioned in the past, when you hold a office in government, there is no background check.
Right.
There is no security clearance check. There is nothing of that nature that they can say you are fit for this position.
Right.
But
the people contributing to that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You get elected, but there's no background check. There's no checks and balances to make sure that this person is fit for government or fit for office. But they do it for military. They do it for federal employees. They do it for state employees. They do it for your local Wawa, your local Home Depot. You know what I'm saying? But at the very top, there is no official.
Right. That's weird, right?
Background check for.
That's weird. You can be convicted. Look, we're seeing what they did. This is Constitution, though. Donald Trump. People thought this was just a random. Nah, we followed the law of the land. Says that the president. They decided he cannot be prosecuted ever. It ain't just him. Any president from here on out cannot be That's what they deemed. It is what it is. You may not like it. So let me ask you a question then. The question on the table is, because I believe it should be, they're talking about implementing what they call the Save America Act. It's just amazing that they named it this, and that would require proof of citizenship, even if you go to get your license, right? They really want to do it for elections. So you got to have proof. What do you guys think? Should we have proof of citizenship to vote in this country?
Me personally, I don't see why not. Like,
why not?
You're just showing that you're a U.S. citizen. You can vote. That has nothing to do of oppression or of any other type of people. It's just simple fact. It's just, hey, yeah, I'm a real person. Here's my ID. Here, take it as that. Yeah, I'm gonna hop on this plane. Yeah, I'm a U.S. citizen. Or here's my passport. Hey, here, take that. It's not really a big deal in my perspective. You know what I'm saying? But the ones who have an issue with it, they think it's so oppressive is because they, again,
they're probably illegal.
The 600 non-registered U.S. You know what I'm saying? Like, there you have it. So I mean, maybe there's a connection there.
It's a couple things though. It's a couple things with that. Ironically, which I think is weird, right? That they ultimately, by statistics, they think a person that's a non-U.S. citizen would always vote Democratic, right? Which is, I mean, I think that's ironic because why would you just automatically think a person who is a non-U.S. citizen would just be like, oh, I'm gonna vote Democratic on the Democratic side? They might vote on the Republican side, right? So it is weird. I always find that very strange that, they would say an illegal person, they're gonna vote for a Democrat because I guess they align with more democratic values. That's the one side of things that I think is strange.
Oh, it's such an assumption, right?
It's really an assumption because you can't necessarily say, first of all, if somebody is a non-citizen, you know what I mean? They're not, obviously, if they're voting illegally, they're not putting down whether they're a Democrat or Republican. So how would you know that they're voting on a Democratic ticket? So that's one thing. That's
one,
strange.
yeah.
And which is supposed to be confidential.
Correct.
Right. And then the second thing with the voter ID, I'm always torn on this. I'm always torn on voter ID because logically, I think, yes, you got to show identification to go buy liquor. You got to show an identification if you get pulled over in your car. You got to show identification when you basically do anything to get into a nightclub.
Right.
Show identification for a lot of just normal everyday things. The only problem I ever have with saying you need to show identification, I get concerned in some of the cities and towns that are smaller that try to pull like some type of tricks with their own voter fraud. Whereas I go back into the civil rights days where they used to make, African Americans jump through hoops to vote. And also as well, Mexican Americans as well too. They do that to them, to make them do wild things. I was telling Maul one time, I read an article where they put a whole bunch of marbles in a jar, right? And they put them on a table, and anybody that was African American, they would say, how many marbles are in here? You got to guess that, like an IQ test where you got to guess how many marbles in there before you can vote. And obviously nobody's going to get that question right? Because you know what I mean? So it's like, so stuff like that does concern me on the showing voter ID, because when you start adding these levels of verification, where does it stop? Because you say, okay, we need voter ID to vote. Then all of a sudden you'll need voter ID and your birth certificate to vote. Then all of a sudden you'll need voter ID, your birth certificate, and some other document to vote. And then where does it stop? I always do get a little weary with over government when you start over governing things, because there's no end to it. But then on the reverse side, right? Like that's why I'm torn, because then on the reverse side, and then if you have no laws behind it, then you open up the floodgates. So I'm still torn with it. And I thought I would have a decision, but I don't.
I understand that concept, because I feel the same way with this whole real ID crap. My driver, it's the same information. The only difference is it's his real ID on it. That's the only difference. Yeah. Same birthday, same driver's license number, same person, same photo. You got me checking mine.
I don't even know. This is the first time I heard this conversation.
Real ID is that you can't use it as a real ID to fly domestic anymore unless it says real ID, which is weird to me. I'm like,
yeah,
I'm.
Wow.
Yeah, I use my passport. I don't even bother. I don't even bother with the ID anymore.
Yeah, I understand that, bro. It is a little weird.
It starts to get right.
Oh, this is crazy. This is getting crazy. I ain't never heard nothing. Like, look, you got to be updated, man. They change stuff so fast. You sitting there, I'm listening to you. I'm like, real ID? What we doing here? Man, it's what you just said. It's just what you said. This where it does become over governing. Yeah. This where you be like anti-voting agenda. Listen. So this is what we have to look at. And this is individually in our homes, right? As we come up, especially if we got kids. You have to participate in the agendas that you believe that you can be impactful in, because there's always going to be an agenda. So you just gotta, you know what I mean? This is a chess match, right? We gotta say, all right, if I'm gonna go into this arena, this what comes with this arena. The crazy part is, though, there is no real play for us in the federal arena locally. I'm just being honest. Yeah. If you haven't played locally and you're not in the federal arena, it's no reason to play there. Maximize your local impact, right? And if all this comes up, the good part is, listen, I used to be anti-vote, man. I think that was more because of the cults that I was in once upon a time. But now I told my wife, I said, you know what? It's so much that we miss out on that we can get for ourselves. I'm talking local grants. Just that we don't know exists, and folks come in and snatch it up. So while you complaining, you don't show up to the community meetings, and they invite you. They send texts now. They come in the form of spam. You could join groups, right? And you can be in the know. But can I be honest? If you're just one of those that is just complaining, like the Orange Man is complaining, there's no reason for it. You're back in office. You can only run 2 terms. You got 2 terms eventually. To just be complaining, you know what it does? It sets the avenue for people to complain. You know what I'm saying? The question is, what area of impact, and I still believe it even more now, vote on it. You don't like it? Let's put this up for a vote and vote for people that will get behind the actions in which you believe to the best of, because it's not going to perfectly align. So you want to get, because I used to say, and I used to tell you this, Jamal, I ain't voting if it ain't dead on. And I realized that's not logical. Even as a, you know what I mean?
It's so you want to
get it's not realistic. So you want to get as close to what their track record is, right?
Mhm.
And then you got to make a choice. And they're going to get some stuff done, and they may not. But what is their track record to getting specific items done? Then you align your ideals with it. And now here's the other thing. Then you go out and make the change. Instead of talking, okay, I've voted. I've done that right. Now, how can I go out here and affect change to the best of my ability? While I'm doing those two things, I promise you, you won't be getting caught up in the news of complaining about what isn't fair. Man, it ain't fair. It is an agenda. It's everything that we're mentioning in here. And I would get a headache. Like I'm reading this article. Look, just listen to this. They argue overgoverning leads to, right, anti-voting agenda that would disproportionately disenfranchise eligible U.S. citizens. You see how that get all crazy? Like you said, over government. So you know what? The better solution is align your ideals with who you want in office, hold them accountable, but that's not enough. Then go out, get off the bench, and go do something. We can do something about what we, the change. Be the change you want to see. You know what I'm saying? Because if you can't hold them accountable, hold the signs up.
Hold the signs up. Pick it.
You know?
It's tough because people have this weird fear of government, right? Even just your thought. People have this weird fear of government, and I think some of it's by design, and others is just sentiment. You know what I mean? From reading history books or what somebody's told you, you know what I mean? Word of mouth. And you just get this fear in your mind. Like, I can't do anything.
Ignorance.
You know what I mean? Yep. Ignorance. I can't do anything. The powers that be are bigger than my little voice, so I'm just a cog in the wheel, so to speak. But the thing is, when you break down the layers and you get to your local government, one person actually makes a huge change.
Yeah.
And that's I think where people fail to realize that and fail to understand that, right? I wind up going to I speak at I gotta speak at a council meeting on Monday. But and then obviously I'm on the Parks and Recreation Community Services. So, you know what I mean? I gotta be in council chambers once a month, stuff like that. But it was like at first, it is a little intimidating, right? To speak in front of all these people and to voice your concerns, it's a little intimidating because you have passion, but you want it to sound right, and you don't want to get up there in front of these other adults and look like a fool. But you're better actually going up there looking like a fool in front of adults and just say what you need to say than not to say it at all.
Yeah.
Because at least your voice will get heard.
Right.
And people will realize, like, hey, this person actually has something to say. Maybe let me talk to him on the side and be like, what you really need to get out. And then your council members will see you. They know that you care. They know that you have, you know what I mean, a voice. And something like that could snowball into a stronger community and actually getting things done.
That part.
So it's really breaking down the fears of government. And then once you start to learn local government, then obviously you can, you know what I mean, you start to understand state government. And then you can worry about federal. But if you didn't play JV football, you're not gonna play on varsity, and you damn sure not gonna make it and play in college, and you damn sure not gonna get to the pros, right? You gotta start somewhere.
We gotta stop skipping the process.
Yeah, for sure.
You're right. Yep. You can't skip the process and expect all these instant results that you ain't earned. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah. You didn't earn it. I'll be honest. Hearing you speak, brother, it really magnifies the importance. Now I'm telling you, some of the stuff was just rebel. That's the nature, especially of our people, because of the adversity. We understand systematic racism is a thing. You know what I'm saying?
Oppression. We understand it.
Right, but what we don't understand is the power that we have and the freedom that we have. We have so much freedom, it just has to be strategic. And I always tell, here's what's connected to that freedom. Get your money right, man. Get your money right, because here's the thing. You can get into places and say things when your money's right, where people, come on, man, we're in a cancel culture type of era, right? And people are so afraid to speak. And that's because things can be taken from you. But when you got your money right, That's what they feel when they say, "Oh man, don't mess with my money. I got family." Right? The NFL player doesn't speak up and really stands out because man, mess with my money. But if you Dave Chappelle it, you can get on stage and say, "Yo, before I speak and offend everybody, I'm rich, and y'all can't do nothing about it." And I'm not saying you have to be rich. You just have to have your foundation strong. So now that's going to give you confidence and courage to say, "Yo, I'm going to speak about this." And you know what? Let me give these politicians grace. They don't know all these issues exist. Like, we be making these assumptions. Like, hey, y'all just know every last problem that's going. No, they don't. You know how many people coming there wasting their time? They don't know these issues. So it takes one of us to say, you know what? There's a literacy issue going on in the schools. There's a lack of resources going on. And you know what I mean? They don't know.
Yeah.
You know how much. Listen.
Let me make this let me make this parallel within the military, right? So, you guys, I've been in the military. We have to up channel the issues we have on the lower level, right? You have your commanders, right? You have your group command, your wing commander, wing group commanders, and then you have your squadron commanders, and then you have your SCLs, and then you have your employee, your in my case airmen, right? Your NCOs, senior NCOs, and younger airmen. If I have a problem with having resources on the flight line to fix certain pieces of equipment, I need to let my supervisor know of why I can't get these things done or get accomplished in a timely fashion, right? Or as effective as possible. Then that supervisor brings that to the section, to the superintendent of that squadron, and then that person brings it to the squadron commander, and then it goes from the group commander on up and on up and up and up. You have these weekly or monthly resource advisor meetings to discuss where this money's being allocated. So to your guys' point, if you guys are on the ground level making these politicians or making your needs known to these people of power, then these things will never get fixed. Right. That's what I get from the conversation. Now I'm just equating that because I understand how it is in the military, how money's being allocated. So it's really the same thing. You know what I mean? Just let your issues be known. You know what I'm saying?
And then persevere.
Persevere, because sometimes it's not going to happen right away. It's going to take a season or two, you know what I'm saying, to get to what you need. Persevere, have patience, and and just dig your feet into the ground and do the best you can until that problem gets solved. But also at the same time, I'm about to say, brother, that point kind of threw me off. But you were right. It's good. What was I about to say? I forgot. But it's all good. Man.
Okay.
It's all good.
We discussed so much so fast on here that you can sometimes get your thoughts all crisscrossed.
Yeah.
That was
we'll be talking about sports.
Yeah.
We be talking about sports. The next thing we talking about jet fighters or something. It happens so fast.
Right.
You'd be like, man, what was I saying? But
I
know what I meant.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, man. Nah, one person can change the world.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that's what people need to understand, that one person absolutely can change the world.
Right.
And you yourself hold the power in within yourself. You've been ordained. You are blessed. And people need to really understand that and know that the power that they do possess. And I do believe that even as adults, we get so inundated with life stresses, and then sometimes we or not even sometimes, people are in struggle mode, right? There's nothing but sheer survival.
Yeah.
So then to worry about something as, man, let me go speak at my city hall, or city hall meeting is so down on the totem pole.
Right.
Even if on the pole at all, right? So, I mean, to say like, oh yeah, I'm worried about my safety in my neighborhood, or I'm worried about these potholes in these streets, or things like that. And you complain about it to your friends, to your family, but honestly, in that small complaint, take that same complaint and that same energy, and just take it up to City Hall. For real.
Yeah, do that. Do that too.
Yeah. Yeah, for
do
sure.
that too, right? Just add that extra
Add that
layer,
to
that
the
same
list.
complaint,
Yeah.
that same
Mhm.
fire when you was on the phone
Right.
talking to your mom, or
Right.
talking to your
Talk it all
your
left out the
boyfriend,
side of your
girlfriend,
face.
whatever.
Yeah.
That
Take
same
that energy to go
energy and
do
fire,
something.
take
Yeah.
that to City Hall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Facts.
For sure, for
Facts.
sure.
Because
But
they
listen,
be in the room like, what just happened?
but listen, just want to wrap up this segment, but real quick,
Yeah.
just want to make this note that the Mickey Sherrill's administration, they are denying the Department of Justice to, with certain records or information, straight up denial. They won't allow any further. Basically saying that they don't have the authority to do so. I mean, I don't know
Right.
the details about it, but that's where not Mickey Sherrill herself, but her
Mhm.
administration is saying like, no, we're
Right.
not gonna, which is my personal opinion, a reflection of Mickey Sherrill. Because if you know this, then what are you doing to actually to cooperate with all this? But I don't know. But
So what I know we finished up this topic, but will that lead into, which it always does lead into, right? So the federal government tries to step in, the state government says, no, we're not giving you that. And then it turns into a money and funding thing, because they'll always say like, oh, you're not going to turn us over the documents. Oh, we're going to limit this funding for this program, or we're going to limit the funding for that for the state program from the federal government. And they always turn into a money game every
that's
single
what
time.
happens. Pettiness. Oh, you don't want to? Okay. Next fiscal year, you want? Oh, okay.
Right.
Oh, where did that money go? Well, where did that money go? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's
Right.
petty.
Yeah, man.
But listen. But in closing, right? To make it clear, right? Every eligible citizen should be able to vote, and if you're not eligible to vote, then you shouldn't be able to vote. You know what I'm saying? Based according to the law, right?
Law of the
Yeah.
land. That's it.
That is the law.
So, what happened? You heard it. Who's responsible is under investigation. We'll find out who's responsible.
Right.
Software saying it's not us. It's the state, and the state saying it's not us. It's the software company.
Right. That's
I don't
what
know.
they're saying.
But I do know one thing, that it's under investigation, and the question is, how can we prevent it from happening again? So more to come on that. I'll pay a close attention to that, see what's going on. And yeah, man. So this is Jack of all trades. Like, share, subscribe. We here to talk about topics that no one's really talking about. Give a voice for the regular people who has a lot to say but feel like they're not being heard. This is the platform for it. All right. Jack of all trades. Like, share, and subscribe. On to the next topic, fellas. This is I really had to mull over this, because when I had the idea to talk about this, it was coming from a bad place. What I mean by that is, I was taking one thing in one hand, the other thing in one hand, and comparing the two. Right? I was comparing the two, which this topic I should not be doing. I shouldn't be comparing anything. But what I should be doing is asking the question about, why aren't we consistent? Now, what we're talking about is, why is it that when it comes to humanitarian rights, why do certain topics get highlighted, right, in international news versus others? And to be specific, there's a lot of genocide going on in the world. Obviously, we're talking about, the things that's happening with Israel and Iran and the whole Palestinian region, right? But we know about those things. It's being thrown in our face every single day. It's always on the news constantly. But the one thing that's not really being talked about, but it's being whispered or brushed under the rug, is about the onslaught, the genocide that's happening in Nigeria, right? By the tens of thousands, since 2009, tens of thousands of Christian Nigerians are being slaughtered. But no one's talking about it. And like I said, this isn't about to see, because for one, both sides it's disgusting. But I'm just curious of, why aren't we talking about what's going on, in Nigeria? So there's a lot of, implications. There's a lot of theories. People put on the tinfoil hats and talk about this, that, and the third. But just my sincere wanting to know, what I'm saying, why aren't we talking about it? Why does some conflict become international news, but others aren't as discussed? What say you?
And that goes into a bigger conversation, but
A huge conversation, very layered.
Our media, right? our media only focuses on things that the money resides, the money
Ding, ding,
controls,
ding,
right?
ding.
So obviously we focused on Israel. We focused on Iran. We're focused on things that are just as far in the geopolitical scope as a Nigeria, as a Liberia, as
Sudan.
any other country that exists, the North Koreas of the world. But where our media is controlled, and fortunately the internet has broken some of those barriers, but those barriers still do exist. So like you said, the genocides that's going on in Nigeria, right? Like even in what I also was speaking about, even basically modern day slavery that goes on in Liberia, right? That doesn't get talked about. I searched today because I was checking up on the girls that have been consistently been stolen in Liberia. And just this morning, an article came out. 6 guys have been arrested for still capturing little girls in Liberia and basically putting them in sex slavery, right? And I don't want to go too dark because then it gets into, harvesting organs and things like that. I'm not going to get too dark like that. But going back to the genocide in Nigeria, yes, they're not covering it. You know what I mean? Hundreds of thousands of people are getting killed, and we're focused on, what craziness Benjamin Netanyahu is up to today, that he's, just wants to keep a perpetual war going over, over the Zionists.
The Marxists,
right?
Yep.
And the Marxists, right? And we're focused on that, but then not focused on the other countries that things are actually much, much, much worse. And it is a what's the word I'm looking for? As far as just simply out, specific outrage to one topic that most people still don't even understand correctly. You know what I mean? Like so it's really brutal. It's brutal. And we as not only we as content creators, we as people need to do a much better job of staying up on those topics. And not to say that we could do that much in Nigeria and what's going on, but the awareness is everything.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
The media is controlling all that. You know what I mean? I'm hard on the media too. I'm tough on the media because they do have an outreach and they could show so much more. But they'd rather have a CNN show where they sit around and talk about what happened in the White House today for an hour and a half, when the whole time you could have touched on so many more topics, so much more important topics to bring that lens to these other countries. And there are people that could probably, do something about things in these other countries as well too. Because like Rodney just said, the money controls 98% of what's going on. You know what I mean? You send the right money with the right backing and the right thought process to the genocide that's going on in Nigeria, you could change that. It could be changed. It could be slowed down. And there's always going to be wars over religion. No matter what, there's always going to be a religious war somewhere, someplace going on. But
which is what's happening in not like the way it is in the Palestinian region, but I'm talking about the Nigerians, but I didn't say what Nigerians are being killed. Christian Nigerians are being killed. You know what I'm saying? So it just, makes you wonder. You know what I'm saying?
So it is so funny, man. Y'all, it is so funny. So on one hand, the big hand is gonna always be controlled media, right? Then on the other hand, is what you just said, we have the power because all we got to do is pick up the lens now. That's the great thing about being content creators. We can pick up the lens and just shine it. And it will get viewed. It will be changed. It will be impactful. What I'll say is, because this is really getting the juices flowing. So when I come on here as a guest, because now you guys are inspiring stuff that God has given me impact to do. So here's what I would charge you. we have to have a show that talks about what I'm about to say, because I saw a documentary that's so on point with this discussion. And then on Tubi, there's a documentary called Poverty Inc. So just listening to that, Poverty Inc. Because and brothers, and I just want us to take another show and go into it, because it goes into it. It goes into why not even just media. Yeah, I don't want to ruin it. I want you guys to watch Poverty Inc. It's on Tubi. Now I'm gonna bring it back in. One of the reasons why we don't see a lot of what's happening as far as and I'm not gonna just leave it in Nigeria, because it's the whole sub-Saharan Africa that's being persecuted. Yeah. And unfortunately, and we talked about this, Jamal, and I had to go do some more research.
Yeah.
The same thing that happened with Hotel Rwanda, unfortunately, is still happening now. Radical Islam is still persecuting. It's heavy. It's heavy. And it usually breaks out when a radical Islamic leader that's respected gets unalived. Boom. Outrage. Yep. They don't have, let me say it, emotional intelligence. And I would say we battle with that here, but it's way more when you deal in certain areas, well, a lot of areas of Africa. They're not taught that emotional intelligence. They're taught outrage, because guess what? It's what you're saying. When you're under circumstances and it's poverty and that's your mindset, it's like you said, it's not on a totem pole to let's go sit and talk, because they have talked at times and they didn't go nowhere. So they have gotten the mentality that violence moves. It moves the bar, right? And then you said it. We ain't got to hide this. Christian Zionists are going to always get the lens on them. And it's going to look, Israel is going to always have the lens on them because the money is there.
The money.
You know what I'm saying? And then we're always, since we were kids, we were taught Africa is this violent, mass killing poverty. We don't talk about the billionaires. We don't talk about the billions of resources that are there. You know what I'm saying? Like it's always the part where they're being taken advantage of. And it hides the prosperity to give them control to be self-sufficient in every area. You know what I'm saying? Like you hear Ghana and all these areas, because the media wants to amplify this. And I'm not trying to take away from the topic, but they want to amplify, but they want to give it, they'll report on it, but the headlines be, it'll be, they can't do nothing about it.
Yeah.
And they can. That's what it is. That's why I want you fellas definitely watch Poverty Inc. It'll bless your soul.
I got it written down on Tubi.
Definitely, on Tubi, man. Because it's the same thing we're saying over here with local government. Let me say it better. What if you could say this loud, and they do in Poverty Inc.? We don't need no more of your handouts and charities. We just need resources, and we can go build it back up. Same thing with Haiti. We don't need no more of your handouts, because you hand out so much that you crush our ability to build for ourselves.
Ooh,
you know what I'm saying?
Bro.
Because if you keep giving us free, then we won't stand up and build commerce for ourselves, man. Brothers, I promise you, Poverty Inc. is going to shake y'all.
Welfare system?
Bro, Poverty Inc. No,
welfare?
No, and that's the thing that's going to get you.
Welfare?
No.
No. Listen.
Oh, I get what you're saying. You asked the question.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
There you go. Yep.
Oh, yeah. But you know what?
We're so dependent. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not. All right, let me shut up, because that can go a different direction.
Right. Yeah, that's definitely that. You know what? We'll reserve that with the conversation of Poverty Inc.
Yep.
But I think it's a shame because, bro, when I watched Hotel Rwanda, it was, bro, I couldn't stop crying. I could not stop crying, bros, because here's the thing. It wasn't outside countries coming in to do this. This was tribes amongst tribes doing this. What made it sadder is that we could have intervened as America, and they took their time. Now, when we look on the news, this is what we're seeing, and this is what we got to tell people to do too. This is a disclaimer. Fact check when you watching these social media platforms, because they be lying. Gosh, I be reading new stories, and I be like, and I gotta go fact check quickly, because I be like, yo, they told a bold-faced lie. Because we're also using social media that way too for clickbait, right?
I'm about to say that. They got the right hooks and the right thumbnails.
And they be saying some stuff it look good, don't it?
It do look good. It do look good. So I guess I guess at this point right now, you guys, both of you guys hit a nail on the head. The reason why, this coverage is probably being covered more in other regions versus others is because there's no money involved in that. There's money involved with speaking about these things. That's going to bring, views, bring watchers onto the different platforms, but also, the U.S. has literally investments into these regions. You know what I'm saying? The oil market and things like that. You know what I'm saying? Defense, logistics, all these different things.
Allies.
You know what I'm saying? Allies, right? That's so. I mean, but does that make it right? Because it comes back to my point, right? I can see why it doesn't make it right. But if you're going to if humanitarianism is exactly what we're talking about, right? Then spread it evenly across the board. So you're saying to me that we're not going to talk about Nigeria because we're not invested in Nigeria? We're not going to talk about Nigeria because we're not there are enough journalists to speak about those topics in Nigeria? Bro, that's to me, it's hypocrisy. It's very hypocritical. And then some of the people, you know what I'm saying, there are, the people as in the watchers and the common folk, right, have these strong opinions about these things. You guys are very loud, but you're only loud because the social media algorithms are showing that in your face. They're constantly flashing these images towards against you that you don't even really understand what's really happening over here, right?
Mm-hmm.
We all know that the continent of Africa has been the most exploited piece of land of all the entire world. We know this thing, but no one wants to talk about it. Talk about free Palestine, free Nigeria, free Egypt, free the Congo, free Ethiopia, free Kenya, free Morocco. You know what I'm saying? So if this is the angle we're going to be put in and talked about and look into this perspective, then let it be that way across it. I'm not, like I said in the beginning, I'm not trying to measure what's more morbid. I'm not here. I'm talking about the sheer fact of, if you're going to talk about it all. And that's not act like some of our comforts and our luxuries that we have, you know what I'm saying, doesn't come from the mother continent of Africa. Some of these diamonds, some of this jewelry, our gold, some oil.
Most of it. Come on now. Most of it. Not some of it. Most of it. Our cell phones. Listen, we can go on.
Let's talk about
it. Also, let's talk about the billionaires that are. Listen, there's a wise businessman that I talked to recently, and I asked him, "What are you investing in right now?" You know what he said? The infrastructure of Africa. Now, why would he want to do that if it's so poor, if it's so downtrodden? You know what I'm saying? And that's why, cynical. Yes, Idris out, bro. It is. Here's the thing. What we got to be worried as believers, we can be advocates. I'm more in an advocacy mode than a complaining mode. Even about how bad the media is, because I know how bad it is, right? We know how bad it is. So here's the thing. Even in those, I know this is my drive, right? We got to have a why to whatever we're doing in life, right? My drive through business is, me and my wife, and we talk about this is biblical, to be the storehouse. First at home, right? I want to be impactful for these kids, man, the next generation, right? But then I want to be impactful, not so much in a charity manner, but in a manner where I'm helping folks who, that's what they're looking for. They're not looking for a whole bunch of talk. You know what I'm saying? They're looking for listen, and it's not a handout. It's listen, we have lack of these resources. Man, I got a sister here. Her and her husband built a 600 student school. Just her and her husband, man. And they're small congregation. What can we do to help that? Well, and I'm just shameless plug. Jamal, you know we deal with financial literacy. Boom. We can send these books to their school so they can learn budgeting.
Come on.
It's something in us that we can contribute while the world is talking. And then look, we amplify this good work that it overshadows the bad. Because here's what happened. Even these extremists are paying attention to what's going on. And when you see so much positive, you know what I'm saying, resources starting to come in by the people that are supposed to be the little people, us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what it is. We're taught to be so little, like we're little pebbles.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not. We're so powerful, man. And we can do these little things, and they're sneaky. And then we build infrastructure, and here's what we got to do. Same thing in America. You got to protect the bag, man.
Mm-hmm.
You got to protect. I mean, I don't care if it requires military protection. Because, you know, once you raise up the leaders, they're coming for them, right? They're coming for them, man. And that's what I think when you see some of our greatest soldiers that went down, I'll be like, why didn't they have the guns round? Excuse my French. Why didn't they have protection and infrastructure to guard, right? We need to do that while we're training up the next person. So if something happened, it doesn't kill the movement.
Mm-hmm.
Like, at least, you know what I mean? We're protecting them, but we're also raising up. All right, if this person go down, boom, we pop it back up like popcorn, right?
Come on.
And so we have to do that, man. And then we can just be like, yo, Jack of all trades, Mr. Add Value is sending. You know what I'm saying? We're sending resources over. And look, we're getting on some of the lines, and we're like, yo, here's what we're doing to impact Africa. So now our voice is stronger, right?
Mm-hmm.
It sounds better because his action is loud. Like, yo, these dudes, Jack of all trades, they don't just talk. Now they're in Africa. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh,
and
man.
they're covering these topics. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, but let me shut up, man. This has been a great topic for real, man.
Hey, man, you cooking?
Definitely cooking.
This is what we do here, man. We chefing up, man. We in the back of the kitchen.
Let's go.
That's how we do it here.
And let's not forget about Nigeria. Some of these attacks on these Christians, they're radical, very radical, Islamic groups, terroristic groups at that. One to be mentioned, Boko Haram, where I think they publicly mentioned that they're down with ISIS, I believe.
It's ISIS affiliated. It's another one called ISWAP.
ISWAP. Yep. ISWAP. Yep. And specific Boko Haram, they are trying to eradicate all Western cultural influence 1,000%. You know what I'm saying? The way we know life now in the Western Hemisphere, they're trying to eradicate it all. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, obviously, if you know what? Okay. All right. Listen, bro. This is going to kind of like go and segue into our next portion. We can briefly talk about because again, if you're going to speak about certain crises, not to take away from anyone else, you need to speak about it all. Especially if you're like, you take your stance and speak about it publicly. And I'm talking about the mayor of New York City, Mamdani, right? Did you guys see what he said?
Yeah. So the whole thing.
It's fine.
It opens up a can of worms. What you're talking about? Because I read the article and let me say this. We have a lot of power, but this opens up a can of worms.
Watch this. That's fine.
Benjamin Netanyahu is a war criminal, the architect of a horrific genocide against the Palestinians. He is responsible for the killing of more than 73,000, for the maiming of tens of thousands of children, as those who survive undergo amputation without anesthesia, for the targeting of neonatal hospitals and maternity care centers, denying newborns even the chance to, for the countless people he starved as he blocked food and humanitarian aid from reaching, for the gunning down of hundreds of aid workers and journalists. And just last month, the UN confirmed that Palestinian children continue to be deliberately targeted and killed by Israeli armed forces, more than 8 months after the so-called ceasefire. The list goes on and on, all as we, as Americans, pay for the bombs that do the killing. There is a reason the International Criminal Court issued a warrant for his arrest. As human beings, we have spent generations building a shared understanding that there are crimes so grave they offend all of humanity. Anyone, with their eyes, with their heart, with their conscience, should recognize the devastation he has wrought and understand that he belongs before a court of law. As I've said, I agree with the ICC that Benjamin Netanyahu should be arrested and tried for his crimes, as I do for anyone else charged by the ICC. My administration has reviewed every avenue available under applicable law to determine whether New York City could execute the International Criminal Court's arrest warrant if Benjamin Netanyahu came here. It is clear that we do not have the independent legal authority to enforce this warrant. The federal government, however, does, and I call on them to join the ICC and execute this warrant. And I want to be equally clear. Benjamin Netanyahu is not welcome in New York City, nor is any other war criminal at large. While we cannot end the genocide on our own, we can decide whether our silence will become another weapon, and we can examine every tool we have to defend the humanity and dignity of all people. That is my commitment to you.
Yeah. So that is the mayor of New York City.
My commitment to you is to talk about nothing New York. No New York affairs. My commitment is to go straight into the ICC. Netanyahu, nothing. Man, he won't last long, brothers. Don't even worry about this. You in New York City, and you think you gonna last long? I mean, the fact that he was able to get in and be sworn in with the bro, he ain't gonna last long. Man, do you understand the city you in? Oh, and they just wanted to. Are you crazy?
Listen.
They're gonna be like, yo, we made a mistake, y'all. I know we like to push the barriers. We New York, we like to, we like to let people in, in the building. Bro, that was so. If I'm a New Yorker, I'm outside. And I don't even go outside with the signs, but I'm outside with this dude. Like, bro, how does that affect our pop? Bro, we can go into numerous things that he can be talking about, but he just did a whole public forum on intentional. The Guardian covered this. Y'all saw the background, man. If this ain't an agenda,
Tom, when
you
you edit that, make sure you block that part out. I ain't trying to get no copyright infringements.
Bro,
now, like I said before, if you're going to take your position and go out publicly and talk about humanitarianism, right? And what you heard it, then brother, there's other parts of the country, of the world, you know what I'm saying, that's just as morbid at what's happening in. So just maybe,
as
you know, the mayor of New York City, he's Muslim. His issues against an Israeli prime minister who's fighting other Muslims. But flip side, Nigeria, there are some Muslim terrorists, Islamic radicals that are killing Christians. I mean, again, not to say what's greater and what's not, but brother, like where is the consistency across it all? And I don't want to say.
Here's what you don't do.
Go ahead, bro.
Like, that is the number one thing. I don't mean to cut you off. I'm gonna let you go. What you don't do as the mayor of any place is choose a side because your constituents are Jewish also. Like Muslim, Christian, everybody. And then you're talking as the mayor of New York. You're talking about I agree with the ICC, and I'm trying to see what steps I could take to arrest this man as a war criminal. So you are the mayor of New York City. That's all you are. Calm down, sir. Calm down. What is wrong with you?
And just to put on record,
listen,
the U.S. is not part of the ICC at all.
No, they ain't going to do anything. But
neither is
you're
Russia,
making a mistake
neither is
of
China,
saying,
neither is Israel or India.
Bro, nobody's going to do a thing. But here's the funny part. The mistake he made was saying that you made a public video saying that you were going to do for other places. You didn't say one thing in that video about what you was going to do for New York, the housing shortage, the energy grid strain, the physical pressures, the transit issue. Bro, we could go.
Now listen, I'll play devil's advocate. I watched a couple of interviews, you know what I'm saying? Like, he said he's going to start fighting these landlords for the conditions they have, you know what I'm saying, with some of these tenants. But we can talk about that later.
Me, Jamal.
I'm saying
landlords, we got bigger issues. That's what he said. We got bigger issues than that. But you said first we're gonna go after the war criminal, like you got authority, sir.
And that
you don't have authority.
Yeah.
You're the mayor. You're not a senator, even.
Not a governor.
You're not a governor. And you're definitely not the president. And you're talking about we agree to go after. And New York is like,
he agrees. He agrees.
What does this have to do with New York issues?
Yeah, he agrees.
I'm just trying to figure out what army New York City has.
Right.
Where's the army in New York City?
He said if Netanyahu ever steps to New York City, he's getting arrested. In so many words.
By who? Him?
Right.
Is he going to make a citizen's arrest?
Citizen's arrest because you don't have the authority. You don't have the authority.
Yo.
I don't have the videos, but people they already pushed up against that already. I mean,
it don't matter. If you don't have no power, you're a mayor, sir.
If he personally wanted to go up there and say him personally, he has a problem with Benjamin Netanyahu, by all means necessary. You do what you got to do on your own personal time. Right. But you sitting in the mayor's office with the New York flag and the United States flag and all the flags for the country. You don't speak for the country. You're speaking for yourself.
Right.
You're speaking for yourself.
Personal issues.
And you putting yes, and you putting your not only your city that you're supposed to be the mayor of, but the United States of America in a situation that nobody asked for.
Yeah.
He need to step down. He gonna play around.
Yep.
He gonna play around and wind up getting impeached out of the mayor's
I give him a year.
Yeah, he's tripping. He's tripping. And I don't know, you know what I mean? Like I get it, the democratic socialist movement. I understand they want to push the line. Like that's the whole point. Basically, they're turning into a radical political party is what they're turning into. And that right there is on Front Street. Well, what he just did right there, you're basically turning a political party into like a party that just want war. They don't got that type of backing. I'm gonna tell you that right now. But the fact is, this is starting to turn into a situation of lunacy. You can't do that.
And
you can't do that.
You're poking the bear on foreign relations that you have no authority. United States hasn't declared anything as it relates to the foreign minister. None. And you're poking the bear in this small office that you can do a lot of change, but keep your eye on the ball. New York is not your eye on the ball. You talk about Palestinian issues. Go over there. Have at it. Join their state, you know what I'm saying, and do that. But you are a New York mayor, sir. So it is your obligation. Every news conference is about New York. That's a long little statement. What? I ain't hear New York in there at all. What we doing here? Matter of fact, he
need to worry about getting more.
He spoke like everybody is on one accord for his agenda. That's how he spoke. He spoke like, "Hey, y'all voted me in the office to go get this war criminal."
Right. Like, what type of agenda was that? That's not. He need to worry. You know what? He need to worry about the small things too. He worried about, once again, he jumping straight from JV and hopping in the league.
Right.
I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's doing.
Right.
He need to worry more about he need to get firefighters. He need to worry about the police
Right.
department. He need to worry about city things. Like, and we gonna talk about this rent situation. But he just needs to worry about the things that he's supposed to control. He worry about things he can't control, and we know how that ends up every time. 10 out of 10.
So he
10
shouldn't
out
be
of
using
10.
so he shouldn't be using his office at all to be speaking anything about federal related. He can have his opinions, but to go out like the way he did, that's a no-go.
Well, here's the thing too. He spoke on the dude, and I keep Benjamin is his first name.
Netanyahu,
He is not considered a war criminal.
Well, the
or
ICC
been
considers
convicted.
him.
So
The ICC considers him one.
explain the ICC to me.
They
represent-
they are the
Okay, the
international
criminal court.
Yeah, criminal court. Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
okay, I got you.
Yep. Yeah, they're considering it, and that's why Mamdi is saying he agrees with the ICC.
So then it makes sense for his agenda, right, to go along with it because the ICC agrees with it. I got you. Meanwhile, you guys tell me now I need to be enlightened on the rent issue that's going on in New York.
Yeah. So basically, what's happening in New York City, right? He basically. Mamdani basically issued like increased fines and penalties against like negligent landlords, basically slumlords, right? For like people living in hazardous living conditions. Have you ever been to New York City? You've been to the PJs or been in certain buildings. Some of these buildings are just atrocious. You got huge rat sizes puppies. You know what I'm saying? Hallways smell like piss. Some of the elevators don't work. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of, environmental issues, black mold, all types of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So he's saying that he's going to issue these large fines, right, on these landlords, specifically Bronx landlords, the boogie down Bronx, right? Like record-breaking $31 million penalties.
Woo!
He wants some like fix these bills, which I think is honorable for real. Because I got some folks out in New York City, and some of the living conditions is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Same thing holds on to Philly, but I'm just saying, like, me personally, I don't think that is he's doing some good, at least on the surface level, for what he's saying. But apparently he's actually issuing these large fines, for them breaking these uncorrected code violations. So that's what Mamdani's doing right now as mayor in New York City. He's doing other things as well, but as this topic right here, that's what he's doing. And I'm in the real estate space, so I thought it was interesting. Go ahead, Tom.
Man, he just opened up the floodgates with the rent situation. He's just completely opened up the floodgates with probably somebody dropping a bomb on New York. Yo, I don't know what this guy is thinking at all at this point. When he first got elected, I was like, maybe he can maybe he could do some good for the city of New York. And the people really thought he could do some good for the city of New York. But it seems that he has no economist, no strategist, nobody telling him anything, because he's just making mistake after mistake that's going to snowball into a damn avalanche, right? So, yeah, it sounds good on the forefront. That, okay, he's going to hand out these $31 million fines to Bronx landlords and all other landlords around the city. Where do you think those costs are going to get passed on to?
Listen, real quick. He also successfully froze the rent, by the way. Yeah.
Correct. I believe for 2 years, if I'm not mistaken. For 2 years. He ain't got to worry about that, because I don't think he's going to last in New York for 2 more years the way he keep going. The thing is, right, as a landlord, and like I said, a lot of these landlords are private landlords, right? So some of these people rely on these places to actually fund their life. So you start issuing these fines for them to fix stuff, okay, they'll go fix it, right? And like I said, as soon as that tenant's lease is up, you know what I mean? They're going to hit them with listen, we're going to need this place back, and good luck with your endeavors. right? Not renew your lease and it's only going to go up 20 or not go up. You know what I mean? Because of the rent freeze. It's just landlords are just going to be like, I can't afford to keep you in this place anymore. And you got to go. And so what are you left with? Now you got to sign a lease somewhere else that some other landlord already jacked the price up because they had to pay for those fines. So now you're looking at $4,500 for a 1-bedroom apartment in the Bronx. This goes bad. This goes
So you're
terribly
saying that
bad
this is going
for the
to
residents
open
of New
up a
York.
can of worms. So basically,
Oh
it's
yeah,
like
people not gonna be able to
not going to do
live.
their rent. But if there's a well, I guess the market is the market value. So you're going to find someplace else, especially if you've been paying rent since 2019, right? So you're not going to get those rent prices if you have to move out. Because some people been renewing their leases for like year after year after year after year after
Sure.
year. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So because of this, these landlords, okay, well, we're not renewing your lease, you have to leave. But I'm sure there's some type of law, like you can't just kick someone out on the street. That's one for sure. But I'm not familiar with New York laws or even New York City laws.
I'm not familiar with New York City laws, but I mean, a lease is a lease. And you can, slumlords could find any reason to break a lease. Honestly, if they really want to.
I've heard stories. I've heard stories.
Yeah, all the time. So it's not like, I mean, the lease literally is just a contractual agreement for a certain amount of time. That is what it is. And at the end of that time, the person who owns the property can choose to do whatever they want to do. You know, you can't. How you going to tell a person that owns something? Oh, you can't. You know what I mean? You can't take your property back. You can't tell them that by law. I don't care what state.
So that actually has happened with in New Jersey, right? That same exact example. It's in New Jersey. I had a client, right? That helped rent out the house. They were going back and forth with certain repairs, so they didn't pay the landlord money for a certain period of time, which, it's within their legal right, because if they don't fix something, right, they can either get it fixed themselves, right, or get it fixed themselves, and they can refuse not to pay, right? So that's within their right to do so. And also you can have them like, listen, take it out of my, or if they do that, you can tell them, listen, take it out of my security deposit. You know what I'm saying? Because you feel me? So got it fixed, was arguing, I think he went to litigation a little bit. The court said, no, you gotta fix this, and guess what happened? When the lease was over, that person is out on the street. They can't live there anymore. You know what I'm saying? So that's so okay, you got me now, but I'm gonna get you later. Type of situation.
I mean, it's a simple. I don't even want to say it's a strategy. It's just simple mathematics. If I gotta pay to fix all this stuff and make your place that you're paying probably undervalued already, and now I gotta pay to fix these little things or maybe some large things that need to be fixed. Still, I gotta pass the cost on to you because I'm not taking that loss for a place I don't even live in.
Yeah.
And there you go. The cost is gonna keep on going up. New York's already the second or first highest city to live in anyway. New York and LA. So just the price is gonna keep on going. San Francisco's in there too. The price is just gonna keep on going up. So it sounds good on the forefront.
But what should you do? I mean, obviously, I'm saying these conditions are like way past like habitable. So what do you expect someone or anyone to do anything to get these situations fixed?
I mean, it's a rock and a hard place situation.
Yeah.
For real, it is. I mean, you're in a tough situation, and that's the unfortunate part about renting. You are at the mercy of somebody else. You can hope for the best, hope for a good relationship with your landlord, and that they fix everything and whatnot. But it's also your given right to leave and go find some other place that's nicer, or they actually fix things, in a reasonable amount of time. I mean, that's life.
Personally,
that's life.
I'm in between. Like the landlord has their rights, and honestly, the tenant has their rights. If the landlord is not doing what they're supposed to be doing, as far as making sure the place is habitable, because think about it, you have the elderly, you have kids, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't have someone living in a place and your HVAC or your heat doesn't work. Come on, bro. Don't have someone living in a house, and you have bad water pipes. You know what I'm saying? That's like spraying out some bull crap into the faucet or into the bathtub. Like, come on, don't be a slum. That's why the term slumlord is there. Because you're bad at your job. You suck. Got these people living in the slum. Go ahead, bro.
So what you're saying, Jamal, is you are expecting them to have dignity and operate with integrity.
Of course.
But and what a shame. So I'm gonna, I'm quick with the fact check, and it looks like he built his career on everything that has to do with housing development.
Was he a slumlord himself?
No. So from what I'm reading, it says that he's actually. So we know about the rent freeze, right?
Yeah,
that's about $1 million in stabilization. They say he also was able to secure another $1.2 billion in universal child care funding, which is impressive.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is the interesting one. Tenant worker rights restitution. Won over $34 million in settlements, judgments, and mandatory repairs on behalf of the tenants against negligent landlords, as well as several million in labor restitution. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Even with platforms like Uber Eats. So it looks like he's championed, and maybe that's why the people trusted him to put him in office, because he has been doing things locally for the people. So I'm looking, because I always want to look at what's your resume. I want to see what your resume is. But here's the thing. This is the tricky part.
Okay.
A landlord only has to comply within the parameters of the law. So they don't have to necessarily be integral, because the law, unfortunately, at times gives us loopholes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like when we look at these artists that sign these contracts, the worst part about that situation is they don't even bring a lawyer to the table. Now, let's be honest, brothers. I done rented in my life. And me and my wife joked about this, because it's not a joke anymore. It wasn't till we were searching for our house that we read the contract, the rental agreement, which was like this, and saw that we didn't have a loophole to leave out of the contract and expect them to give us the grace period to find a house. There's like, we ain't giving you 3 months or at least we'll give you a month. And I couldn't be mad about it, because we didn't read the contract, right? We didn't read it to know where we stood. And often what happens if somebody's not fighting for you, this is where it hurts, man. Because I've been there almost being thrown out and God show up. But then here's what's key. The parameters of the law can either make or break us, unfortunately, because the landlord ain't got to do nothing but within the parameters of the contract that you sign, right? And then, they can get over. So here's the question. I always tell people, if you're anytime that you want to withhold your rent money, do not spend it. Put it in escrow. Or if you're going to spend it, make sure you do the repairs and have receipts.
And give it to the landlord.
Because that looks right. No, well, that looks good in front of court. Because that's all they're going to say. But here's what happens with our people. We think it's like a credit card. I ain't paying them. I ain't going to pay them no rent. They wouldn't repair and spend the money.
That's
get in
ego.
court.
Right.
That's ego. And then the court's like, they're like, I'm going to award everything. Because it would have been one thing if you did the repairs, because guess what? It was darn near life-threatening.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Judges could be like, okay, well, landlord, why didn't you do that? Why did your tenant have to do a job that you were supposed to provide? Especially because I think that was a good perks. One thing I did like about renting was I wasn't responsible for the repairs.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
True. Yeah.
But if I repair, I better have my receipts ready to go to court with my logs, because the judges do consider this stuff. We get mad because we done spent the money.
Yeah.
Well, where's the money, sir? I don't know, I didn't know I was supposed to save it, Your Honor.
If your water heater went, don't spend
Then
that money on. Go ahead, spend the money on real heater.
Go ahead and spend it. If you felt like that was what you had to do, my family was freezing.
Mhm.
This was unlivable conditions. I
Yeah.
had to do it, Your Honor.
Yeah.
Man, they ain't gonna turn you down.
They won't.
They ain't gonna turn you down. They were like, we're gonna order this lawsuit in your favor because you have
Yeah.
proof that you had to do it.
Yeah. That's what happened to my client. I mean, she ultimately so she did what you said. She got it fixed, but then she continued on months without paying. So now
Yeah,
she had
yeah,
so it was one of the things where
that ain't gonna work.
The judge acknowledged it. Like, dang, this is messed up. Yo, Len, what were you doing? But then, like, but also be fair. Like, listen, but you still owe this back rent. You gotta pay. Who told you to not pay them? You got it fixed, but keep on paying your rent.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
now if you have
like
the money sitting there and you're like, okay, it's an escrow I can pay now. Then man, now you got them in your favor because guess what? You're showing that though they weren't integral, you were.
Right.
But two wrongs don't make it right. But here's what decides: what does the law say? Ma'am, did you sign this contract that says that you were gonna pay blah 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 because you repaired stuff and didn't pay? And that's what they're gonna say. I'm ruling in their favor. It's not that it's unfair. It's just the parameters of the law.
Yeah.
Get you a lawyer.
That's
get
it.
you a lawyer.
That's it.
Man, you better get you some prepaid legal out here. Get you something. Listen, man.
I tell you about prepaid legal. Well, I told you about prepaid legal,
bro. Hey, I ain't mad. I ain't mad at prepaid legal, bro.
They come in clutch, man. I'm telling you,
bro. You better get you something. Bro. You need some.
Pay $20 a month. You know what I'm saying? Drag up that contract or whatever. They got you. And you get discounts on the attorney fees, bro.
You get a lot with that membership, bro.
Yo, why are you still trying to sell us prepaid legal, bro?
I had it.
Why are you still trying
I had it, bro. I had it, man. I'm gonna get that thing back.
I still got it,
I'm gonna get that thing back, man. Get you, man. We gotta have lawyers, bro. We listen as people of color expect to be taken advantage of. So you got to have the law. Come on, man. You got to be Judge Dredd.
That's sad.
The law.
And that's sad, bro.
That is sad.
That's sad.
That's sad. But you know what?
You know what I'm saying?
It's not sad that we're victims, though. It's sad because my Bible says that we perish for what? Lack of knowledge.
Lack of knowledge.
Yeah, we ain't victims. It's sad, but we're not victims in this age unless we choose to be. You can't control everything, but you can control some things. You're like, you know what? Nah, bro. I should have put that in escrow. I should have had prepaid $20 a month. You know what I mean?
Facts.
And look, there's free consultations. Don't get prepaid. Get you a free consult because lawyers know what they can win and what they can't. It's no excuse. I didn't understand this, and now we got Chat GPT, all that stuff, man. Listen, it's no excuse
Claude,
not to know.
Gemini.
Yeah. It's no reason not to know. You know what I'm saying? To not have a strategy before you haphazardly don't pay your rent. Are you crazy?
Yeah, it's insane. But listen, I mean, other than his federal public opinion, which is frowned upon, but from what I can tell so far at a surface level, you know what I'm saying, he's doing what he's supposed to be doing. That's just me, as far as the landlord real estate aspect of it. I salute the man on that aspect, but hopefully it doesn't go in. Hopefully it doesn't go into the way you said, Tom, where it opens a cans of words where people are paying for it in the back end.
Right. If it becomes a political issue with more about Netanyahu than it is about New York, he won't be there long.
Yeah,
he won't be there long. But if he keeps this track record up, maybe some things. I mean, they are changing. But you can't. Yeah, you got to watch your agendas, man. Personal agenda versus what you were put in office for.
Yeah.
So if he can separate the two, which it don't look like he can.
So far,
like
he's getting himself just like in his first year of office. He's just getting himself into a lot very fast. I get the whole Robin Hood theory. He's trying to basically accomplish. He's trying to take from the rich and give to the poor.
Right.
I get it. I understand the sentiment. You know what I mean? The country feels that way. You know, but at the same time, even though people like to look at rich people like they're bad people, that's not always the case.
Right.
I mean, these people had to work their ass off to make this money.
Right.
It's, you know what I mean? Most people who have a lot of money didn't just get it by osmosis or their daddy was rich. It didn't always happen that way. So for him to, you know, running with this theory, billionaires tax, and trying to take money from the richest of the richest because they happen to have a property in New York and they don't use it or they don't rent it out. He's trying to, tax them higher. The only way I think that would even, functionally work, to the point where is if say something that under that theory, you're taking this large sum of money that you're taking from the billionaires and you're using that money to, let's say, set up funds for landlords if they need the money to fix the places. If you really want to go with a take from the rich, give to the poor type of situation, you know what I mean? Then you actually do it, not just take money from billionaires. And then obviously this money gets gotten, and we all know how city governments work. A lot of times money gets misappropriated because it doesn't get to the right places. And when it funnels in, it don't funnel out. and you create these situations where you said you was going to do something and then it didn't happen because there's a lot of layers and layers to government. So it's not like you just, okay, we're going to take a couple million from these billionaires and it's just going to go to one place in one direct deposit. It's not how it happens, man. And I wish the best for him, really. I wish no ill will on anybody ever. But I think he running before he walking.
Facts.
I really
facts.
do.
Running before he walking.
Facts. It goes back to the theme, right? It goes all the way back. Junior varsity. It would be one thing. Listen, build your track record up in the area that you know, and then leave the mayor office and go be a super humanitarian and go after the war criminals. But don't try to do all that in a place where it's not appropriate. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like that's personal agenda, and it should stay personal. You should be building up to that. You know what? And look, people will respect you more because they saw you stand up for this city like that.
Yes, sir.
They'll back you. They'll be like, yo, I know he's going to do great things as a humanitarian because he fought for the human rights right here. So it looks like he is doing that. I'm not going to take that away from him. But you got to be careful to run too early.
Yeah, for sure. But listen, we've been recording for 2 hours, fellas. Listen.
That's crazy word.
Now I feel like we can keep on going, but all great things must come to an end.
Facts.
This is episode 15, Jack of all trades, gentlemen. Viewers, thank you for locking in and watching this. Follow us on YouTube. We have a YouTube channel where all the episodes are being put up, all the shorts, all the reels, everything right there. We're on YouTube, we're on TikTok, and we're on Instagram. A lot of our Instagram followers have been showing us love. But listen, go to other platforms, check out the whole episode on YouTube. My boy Tom, he's the one chopping it up and putting in everything nice and ready for you with the graphics and everything and stuff like that. And this is Jack of all trades. We're here for you guys. We're not specialists. We're not journalists. We're not experts of anything. We're just some gentlemen here to discuss some things at hand. Some current events, sports, politics, all types of things. Jack of all trades, man. And shout out to my boy Stan, who could not be on here for today. Like I said, he's a jack of all trades. He's an artist. He's out here recording some verses. He's rapping. He got bars, so he couldn't be here for that. So, Stan, if you watch this, the verse better be fire, or it's not being played on our platform. Say no. But other than that, tell them what you got for us. You got any last words?
Oh, yeah, for sure, man. LeBron, welcome to Philadelphia.
I guess, it got to be.
Yeah. So, he in the city now. He in the city gonna give himself a cheesesteak, walk around, you know what I mean? Hopefully somebody give him a dirt bike so he can mob around the city. And then
no dirt
bike. Mr. AV. No dirt bike. Yeah. Mr. AV, Rodney, appreciate you for coming on the pod today, brother. I really appreciate it, man. You shared a lot of insight. You gave, a lot of information. You part of the Jack of all trades family now. So, anytime you want to come back, or if you want to make this a weekly thing, brother, we'll take you on, brother. We'll take you on.
It's been awesome.
For sure, man. I appreciate it, man. And other than that, just final words, man. Y'all stay blessed.
You too, man.
Stay humble. Get out there in your local government. Do something.
Right.
Get up. Get out. Get something.
Yeah.
Let's go. Mr. AV, any last words, brother?
Man, I'm filled up here, bro. You guys, I'm filled up, man. I'm looking forward to seeing what them Sixers are gonna do.
Yeah.
But I'm
Me
also
too.
I'm
Me
looking
too.
to stand in their way too. You know, Magic, baby, Magic.
I get it.
All right,
Yo,
brothers.
this is episode 15,
Oh, it's
Jack of
birthday
all
weekend,
trades.
man. It's my birthday tomorrow, so this is a real good coming
happy
into.
birthday.
Yeah, appreciate you.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
man. My
Yes,
son
sir.
gonna take me out later, so it's gonna be great.
Bet. Yo, episode 15, Jack of all trades, signing off.
Jack of all trades, I move how I move.